my heroes are potheads. So why drink and drive when you can smoke and fly? Peter Tosh said got to legalize. All my heroes are potheads.
And of course, welcome to another episode of Comics on Cannabis, where us as comedians, we partake in the lovely plant by either consuming it, smoking it, imbibing it, and take you on our journey of what's going on in the world, current events. Excuse me. It's fun, informative, and a good time. Thank you for being here. My name is Ed Cho. I am your host she wasn't here last week, but she's back, the beautiful Sue Golden.
Hi.
And of course, well, we have Derek. He just kind of hangs out.
Yeah, I just...
Derek and Ming behind the board there. What's up, Ming? There's Ming, good old Ming. Today is very difficult, I guess. Being in New Jersey, if you haven't been on the news or saw it, there was a crazy fire that took place in Ocean County.
That definitely didn't take place because of pot smoke.
That did definitely not. When you like smoke, yeah, you like smoke for a reason. But this was
We're very responsible.
this was something else, though.
12,000 acres.
It was 12,000 acres.
Oh yeah.
My friend said, "Check this out." He had a picture of the actual fire.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. So it looked big. It was like this billowing smoke until I got home and I found out, geez, man, like it is like a hardcore.
It's still going, isn't it?
I think it's still going. Yeah, they only contain 30% of it or something like that.
Waretown, Barnegat, two other towns I think are also.
Wasn't there?
I think Forked River.
Wasn't there Lake?
Yep.
Forked River, Lakewood, or something like that. But what's crazy is like you look at it and it is devastatingly big.
Yeah.
It is large. And what's amazing is that knock on wood, let's keep it that way. There were no fatalities.
Right.
You know, I think the worst thing that happened was I think 25,000 people lost their power. But so what? You know, there's still
You're alive.
You're alive.
And it's not the middle of winter.
And it's not the middle of winter.
Yeah,
100%. So, yeah, I mean, you got to applaud the state of New Jersey for, having this crisis.
Yeah.
And coming off and pulling off it's still going on right now, so I might be jinxing it, and I hope I'm not. But they're doing an amazing job. When I heard no fatalities, no casualties, does it get any?
It's awesome. Plus, it's kind of I know it sucks, but you're having a fire in a place that's basically surrounded by water.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So you have an access to a lot of water. That was the problem in a lot of other places that have had fires. They couldn't get to a fire hydrant.
That was in California, right?
Yeah, that one. And there was that one in Texas, like 3 or 4 years ago.
I think California was empty.
Yeah.
Was that?
Yeah,
I think it was empty. They were like, "Well, why is there no water here? It's empty." Yeah. And I don't know there was a reason behind why they were empty. Like, wasn't the reserves? What's that?
Because they wanted it to burn down.
That could be it.
We don't need no water then.
But the California one was terrible only because that was just mismanagement. Like, that was gross mismanagement from the governor to just to everybody. I mean,
because they wanted to have a woke fire department,
What would that even look like?
You're absolutely right. There was this whole
they wanted to have these women, like they had to have like a black lesbian woman. Whatever, I don't know how they paid it up, but they made it where like, let's not use men that are strong and that could really help people out. Let's not put water in the.
You're absolutely right. I did see something where it's like the fire chief had to have been a lesbian female or something like that.
Shit.
Yeah, it's like, all right, not the best person for the job, but hey, you gotta. It's that wokeness, but I think the wokeness is actually falling apart.
Why
are you laughing so hard? I don't even know.
You just hardcore disses lesbians.
No.
Yeah, lesbian can't do that, Joe.
Listen,
it's so funny.
No, why are you getting us in trouble?
You want a lesbian pulling you out of fire or a strong man? I don't know.
Look, they're trying to get us in trouble here.
I'm just saying, it's so funny. It's so funny.
I love lesbian. I have lesbian. This is gonna sound so cliche. I have a lot of lesbian friends.
Do you?
Hey, it's my favorite surge category. I'm not knocking it.
Well, one of my best friends. Yeah,
I love lesbians
Listen,
too.
I'm sure you do, but I wouldn't want one like if I had to choose between a strong male and a lesbian to come rescue me from a fire. And I'm sure she would choose that too.
Yeah.
To not rescue me, you know?
I'm so there with you. It's you. There was actually someone that actually said, kind of escapes me. They're saying that, if let's just say there was a robbery or somebody had to come in, they would prefer if that person if you were an Asian person, you prefer an Asian to go. If you were a black person, you prefer a black person to go. If you were a lesbian, you prefer a lesbian person to go because you can relate with them. And I'm like, really? No, you're shaking your head. You agreeing to that?
I don't know. I mean, I guess some people probably feel that way. I mean,
like
nobody should feel that way.
well,
Why?
we're not talking about should. We're talking about what exists and what doesn't.
Who cares?
I like a nice Italian guy, 6'2" or some shit like that, or Spanish, or whatever.
We all have preferences.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at the kind of women you like. Look at you don't like Asian women.
Don't say that. It's not like don't like
you're
Asian
going
women.
racist.
No, I don't mean you don't like them. I mean you're not attracted to them. By and large.
No.
There's nothing wrong with that.
They
You
don't
can't
like.
help
They
it.
don't like me.
What, Asian women?
Asian women don't like me.
Why do you say that?
They just don't. Because they're smart. Yeah. They don't like me.
That's why he likes the
You
blondes.
asked all of them?
What? I asked all
Every single.
20
like
billion
me?
of them.
No, I can't.
How did I like you?
I like you a long time.
Wow, where's this going, guys? Jeez.
Wow.
Hey, look, all I'm saying is I agree with Sue to the point of the best person should, I don't care if you're Asian, black, yellow, I don't care what color you are. If I need help and you're the best suited for the job, come get, you're the ones that's supposed to, it's your job to come and fix the problem.
Right. I don't know. I just men.
Yeah, I don't know.
built to do things like that more so than most women.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I think by and large women are probably a little smarter than men. I mean, I don't think that anybody would argue with that,
What?
I guess
That women are probably a little smarter than men. By and large, I'm not saying, individual cases.
Oh, they totally
Except when it comes to
So-
dealing with men, like in a relationship, then they
Yeah.
do stupid and shit.
I mean, they totally are. Yeah, women are so much smarter than men. It's like, men are idiots. Look at us.
But look at
sporting
men.
events.
Like men build men build this. They build the world. Like they construct
Yeah.
things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think women are smart. It's just a different type of what we're built for. Women are smarter at doing things that they're built to do.
Yeah, but we only like to build big things because we like to blow big things up.
Oh, okay.
There's those weird women out there that say we don't need men. Like
Oh.
And there's also MGTOW.
Oh, there's MGTOW, but at least MGTOW people, men
Men
going
their own way.
Men
It's
go,
a big movement. It's a
Yeah,
big movement.
But the difference between MGTOW and the feminist.
I'm a guy.
No, it's the fact if you're MGTOW, if you're a man that's going to go your own way, you still say, hey, you know what? I'll still date a woman. We still need women here. It's just the fact that if a woman's not into me, I could still survive.
Well, there are a lot of women that are like that.
No,
they
but
just want to get laid and don't want a guy to have to depend on.
No, the point is when you had that feminist and the feminist says, hey, you know what? We don't need men. We just don't. The world can survive without men. You have those feminists like that. Then
I think that's probably because they're gay.
No, they're just crazy. They're like,
you still want to get laid if you're a female and a feminist and you're not gay. You still want to get laid.
There's a crazy feminists out there, man. Like,
I'm sure there are. There everything you could imagine exists out there. You know what I mean? How much faith we put in, how much how prevalent it is. That's a matter of our own personal outlook on life, I would think.
Are you a feminist?
Not at all.
Okay.
I want to stay home. I want to be like a house. I want to be old school housewife. My husband comes home. I bring him his pipe and his silk robe and shit like that.
Yeah. See, I like that.
I don't want to clean though. I'll hire somebody to clean. I hate cleaning, but I want a clean house. But yeah, I like that. All right, so I went on a date.
Oh, when?
The beginning of April.
Uh-oh.
And this annoyed me so much. And I don't know. It annoyed me a lot. And I'm not cheap by no means. So we went on the date. And of course, I'm going to offer money towards the bill. Because it's the right thing to do.
Well, let's start from the beginning. Where'd you meet this guy?
At my job.
Okay. And he asked you out?
Yeah. He wrote me a note
Really? He wrote you a note and say, hey, baby, here you go.
And then I was like... Exactly. Hey, baby.
Here you go.
He wrote you a note.
Wow.
That brings me back to
I know. He's like, no. He's like, you have a piece of paper? I was like, yeah. I handed him a piece of paper. And then he wrote, call me. Here's my number. I'd like to take it out.
Okay, so you work with him, and he's like, let's go out.
No, he actually came into my job.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
His car got impounded.
Oh, jeez.
Did he ask?
Winner.
Exactly.
Did he ask your friends if they think you like him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes or no? A little checkbox, maybe.
Exactly.
So impounded car guy comes in.
Yeah. And then he starts. I'm like, all right, he's a nice guy, And then he asked me out on a date.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Now let's get. I just want to get a little. I want to get a little color to the story. There.
Background.
Okay.
And he asked me out on a date, and when the check came, well, first of all,
Where'd you go?
we went to, well, the first date we went on was coffee.
Well, the
I was
first date. So
fasting.
there was a few here.
Yeah, this was coffee date because I like to be anxious and feel like I have to shit on a date. So,
There's that.
no. I heard somebody else say that once before. I wish I made that up, but I didn't. But so we went on a coffee date, which is nothing, you know. I was fasting at the time for whatever reason. I was trying to like lose weight or whatever. And the second date we went out to eat because I started eating. Again, it's like,
Okay.
And then we went to this place called Ariella's. I call it Areola's, but it's Ariella's. It's
Staten
in
Island?
Staten Island, yeah.
Okay.
It's on Noodle Lane. Pretty good. And the bill came. Well, the bill.
Right. Yeah.
And I said, "Oh, can I offer you some money towards the bill?" And he goes, "Wait a minute, let me check." Now, right there, I was like, ugh.
Wait, let me check. What, was he checking his wallet?
He was checking the bill first.
Oh,
See how much it was. Wow.
Yeah, so
Okay,
I was
okay.
like,
What type of place is this? Ariel
it's
is.
pretty nice, you know, moderate. I guess like the average entree would be between like $25 and $35, $40. You know, it's
And
not
drink and
over-
drinks and everything?
Yeah, well, he doesn't drink or whatever, but
So
I
what-
had one drink.
Okay. So let me
then,
check.
Yeah, so I said, "Can I offer you?" He goes, "Oh, let me check." And then he's like, "You know what? Maybe just leave the tip." And I was like, ugh. And like I said, I do mind paying. I'm not gonna lie. And some women, like, I think a lot of men feel like maybe he felt like I was trying to be an independent woman by offering money and wanting to pay or whatever. But no, I never want to pay. Even when I go out with my guy friends, like they don't take money
Yeah.
from me. And not that I expect it. And I order according. Like, I order whatever I would order if I'm by myself. I'm not
Right.
like, oh, I'm with him. Let me get the filet mignon. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not like that. But I was so turned off
By
that.
because here's the thing. There's times when I go out with my friends that are girls, not girlfriends, friends that are girls, that are like, all right, I'll pick up. Well, you know, all right, I'll get the tab. You get the.
But that's not a date. That's
No,
like,
it's not
you
a
know,
date.
Two friends
I mean,
going
was it
out.
me?
Oh, that's true.
Was that,
No, no,
was
no.
it, am I wrong for getting upset over that? Like,
No, I wouldn't have asked. Honestly, if I were you, I wouldn't have asked.
Right. And they were like, why'd you ask? Because I just feel it's like the polite thing to do, even if it was like empty,
Well,
like a shallow
I've never
offer,
had
I
a
guess.
woman do that. I've had a woman just say, "Thank you for dinner."
But would you appreciate her asking?
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Okay.
I've Derek knows this about me, and anyone that's really close to me knows that if I take a girl out, right, or right, if I meet a girl, we're going on a date. If I buy a drink, and let's just say she buys the first drink. If we went on a date and the girl bought the first drink, right, she's got me for the rest of the. I got her for the rest of the night. You know why? She got that first drink.
Right.
It's just a sen- It's just.
It's because a woman brought you alcohol.
Well, there's that, but it's just character. You know, it's like she bought the first drink, so now it's not even an obligation. It's like you want to now. It's like because she's a good chick. She took care
she's
of
not
that.
using you for a meal or whatever.
Exactly.
But, see, he wanted to go for dessert after, and that would have been where I said, you know what, let me get dessert. And I wouldn't have minded that.
Right.
You know, you just bought us a nice meal.
Yeah.
I'll get dessert. But I didn't want to go to dessert after that with him.
Wow.
I was over it. And then it's not only that, but I know everything about his whole life. He knows nothing about me. That's how much he talks about himself or spoke about
that's no
himself.
good.
Like he asked me one question because he knew I'm a comedian. He's like, so
Yeah.
who's one of your favorite comedians? I said, oh, George Carlin's one of my. And he went on this fucking thing for like 55 minutes. Every fact he knew about George Carlin, and then
jeez.
he'll talk about a movie and tell me the whole movie. Like I was like, this fucking sucks.
Wow. Wait, but hold on a minute. Now you said dates. So
We went on 2 dates.
You went on 2 dates,
And then
So
I bailed on the third one.
Okay.
there was a 3.
Yeah, he asked me. We had plans, and I flaked.
So the first one was coffee.
Yes,
Second one was the meal.
right.
The meal, you got turned off on the meal. Third one, you went ghost.
Yeah. Well, I didn't ghost. I just told him, and I was honest with him. You know, when we spoke on the phone when I got home. He called me after the second date.
Yeah.
I said, I'm just like kind of old school. I said, I don't really feel a connection. I don't feel like you were trying to get to know me. You know, you were just
Right.
Yeah.
I said maybe you were nervous or this, but yeah, no.
How do you take it?
He was like, no. He's like, I do want to get to know you. You know, saying shit like that, but it didn't seem like that.
You had your shot.
Yeah.
Twice?
But I
What's
find
the other
most people are like that. Most people would rather talk about themselves like than ask questions. And again, I was like, maybe he's nervous, and, you know, but whatever.
I don't know.
You know what else is really great about me?
I don't know. Most there's not much. If you're a dude, it's just kind of like let the chick talk.
Yeah.
Just let the girl get it out.
I wouldn't
You can
mind
tune in
listening
and out.
if it was interesting. It was just like, all right, I could go see that movie. I don't need you to tell me the
Yeah.
whole fucking
Yeah,
movie.
yeah. But like you said, that sounds like nerves. Because it was almost like, you know how there's that uncomfortable silence? So you'd rather just not have that uncomfortable silence and talk about something stupid?
Yeah.
So
I like
that
silence,
would be
you
it.
know?
Silence is good.
Yeah, I
silence
like
is
it.
good.
You know?
It's just that, like when you offered to pay, and he said, "Well, hold on."
Right there, I was
that
like,
that moment where you're like,
Yeah.
"So if it's not a lot, you're good, but if it's a lot,
pretty much. Yeah.
So are you gauging how much I'm worth? I'm just because that's what it sounds like.
Or do you not have
anything?
And listen, I would rather just go for 5 more coffee dates if you don't have the money.
Yeah.
But I don't. No woman wants to be with a guy that can't like fucking pay on a date.
Well, I don't know. Is it the? Oh, here's the thing. I agree with you, but it's not the fact that not paying on the date of him being broke. It's the fact that is this the kind of guy? Once again, it's a character thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's more of a character thing. I mean, if he's broke, well, he shouldn't be going on dates. But number one,
But that's the thing. I mean, you know what's in your bank account before you take a girl out to an expensive restaurant.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. But I don't know.
Wait to look at the check and say, "Hey, could you give me like $20 bucks?"
I don't know about Let me. I don't know where that would come from. Like, I don't know where a guy would be like, "Well, let me check."
And I would have listened if we
That's
continued
hardcore.
dating. I would have made it up to him at some point where I would treat him to some
Right.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
like a blowjob. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
That's what. Okay.
But right
that's
there,
good.
I was like, if I was thinking of anything, and I don't give it up that easy. Like, it wouldn't be a second date thing. But I was like, yeah, no, never. He's never.
Was he good looking?
He was all right. He looks animated a little bit. He looked a little bit like a cartoon character. He was all right.
Like a cartoon.
I wasn't like, ooh, like taken away. I couldn't picture myself like being intimate with him.
No.
No.
Well, hold on a minute. Then why go on date number 2?
No, this was date number 2. I determined that.
So date number 1, you can see yourself getting naked with the guy.
It was a quick interaction. Date number 1.
Ah.
It's not like I cut it kind of short. I was like, he wanted to go out after the call. I was like, nah, I'm just gonna go home, because I wasn't sure.
Right. Yeah. Well. Look. The good news is
Good thing you didn't give him money for the coffee. It would have been
You
the
can
first
get
date.
$1.60. Like,
the good news here is you're out there. You went on a date, and I mean,
it's not like I'm seeking. It just like kind of happened. I like dating, and I was like, I was just like, it's good practice anyway.
it's great practice.
Someone I like.
When you meet that person, you'll know. I guess
I'm not, like I said, I'm not actively seeking. I'm open, but not seeking.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Let me ask you this: if he didn't say that, would you still be dating him? Like, did you like him enough where if he said, "Yeah, let me," if you said, "Hey, do you want me to give you money?" He just, "No, I got this, babe. I got this."
I don't know because he talks a lot, too much.
So you don't even know.
It was almost exhausting.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like almost, he doesn't smoke weed. He's not into, and like, I'm just like, we didn't have a lot in common. He's got a lot of exes and shit like that. Like, I don't want to be bothered.
My question is this. He didn't smoke weed. You didn't know if you were into him.
He talked a lot about himself.
He talked a lot about himself.
And
Well,
things he knew.
yeah. I mean, then you got to look at it. Honestly, it was kind of a blessing in a blessing in disguise,
yeah.
right? You didn't have to waste any more time with this guy. Right? I mean, there's that. But I'm kind of curious, like, was he good looking? Like, dudes are idiots. Like, right? Guys are like, it's
He's
girls.
not, like, I wouldn't look at him and be like, ooh, but I'd be like, he's all right. He's all right.
Yeah.
He's all
I
right.
would, like, for my standards, like, well, not my standards, for my preference, I would give him like a 5 if I had to do.
He's a 5.
Well, yeah.
Okay, that's good, sort of. I mean, yeah, no. Nah. Because if you see a chick, and you're like, well, she's a 5.
know what it is
Well,
for
she's
me?
got a great personality.
Like, for
Yeah,
me,
that's
it
where that
is,
5
though.
comes in.
It's mental for me. So if he wasn't that attractive initially, and I got to know him, like, you could become more attractive
Right,
by
right.
getting to, like, when you get to know somebody and you're like, wow, you're like intrigued by them, they're interesting, and like it does something to you, like, and even like the best looking guy can get ugly quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is true. That is true.
I don't think
personalities
that
a lot.
works the same way for guys. Though.
It does
Like
to-
if she's a 10 and she's a real bitch and she says, "Now, do you want a blowjob?"
Of
Fuck you.
course.
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
course.
yeah. No, if she's a dime, you'll take a lot of shit.
You
dude.
will take a
You'll
lot
take
of
a
shit.
lot.
If she's a
gotta
one, you'll
put up
take
with
a
lot
blowjob.
Oh, of course. That's the worst blowjob you ever had. It was fucking amazing.
Yeah, no. If she's a 1, then you're just kind of like. If she's because the thing is, right? You got to get it up.
Well, that's
And
true.
if she's a
That's
1,
true. That's-
then it's really kind of hard to finish the job. There's got to be a certain sense of
Can you Close
attraction.
your eyes and imagine.
No, you want to, but you know that there's a Shrek on the end of it. Like what?
Shrek on the end of it.
Like I'm just you just know. Like that's what's weird. Okay. So you know how people are like, oh well, you've been married for so long, or you're with her for so long. how do you keep the romance going? And people are actually saying, well, you could just imagine it with somebody else. You've heard that before, right? You just imagine it with anybody else, somebody else, her best friend, a celebrity, her mom, I don't know, right? But whatever gets you off.
Right.
That never worked for me because the reality is it was that person that I was with.
Of course.
So that was the reality. So my warped brain would be like, all right, let me put her in really odd positions in my head. And then I would know that's the person that's going down on me. Does that make any sense? I don't know if it does. It's like if I'm having a fantasy, the girl that's doing it to me has to be in the fantasy because the reality is that she's really here.
Right.
Where if I'm imagining that there's a dime on me, like a Victoria's Secret model, I open my eyes.
See, that was your first
even
mistake.
doggy style? Because that's what doggy's for.
I mean, even doggy style. There's
what doggy's for.
There's I don't know. That's just me. That's just how I roll. But a lot of times, that's what weed's for. I guess you just smoke and you just don't. You kind of you smoke and you're like, all right, I'll unless you get too high and you can't get off. But I mean,
but I say to myself, I'm like, all right, like I wouldn't say like I'm a 10. Like I don't rate myself as far as that goes, but I just judge it as far as like, is this person like worth my time and energy? Because I like staying by myself. I have no problem staying by myself and chilling at home, But like, if you're not going to enjoy somebody's company, what's the point?
Would you have traveled with this guy?
No.
No.
Not even to like Atlantic City.
Really?
That's too long.
Okay.
Because then I would just be listening to it, and the only way for that to end is by me like kind of hurting his feelings, and I don't want to do that either. Because
you have a heart.
I do. I don't want to hurt anybody.
You're a nice girl.
But I'm honest. I'll say, I just didn't. I'll say I don't feel like we connect. I won't be like I don't feel like I'm like you're good for me. I'll just be like I don't feel like we're good for each other.
Right. No, that's good. Well, I'm hoping. This is a great kickoff to this episode because I'm invested. I need to know how your life is going. I want to know. You're gonna text me and be like, guess who's in my apartment right now? And I'm gonna be like, who? And you're gonna be like, I'm gonna go down on him and I'm like, we're talking about this on the podcast. Because I want to know about this. But the reason I ask you if you were gonna travel with him is this is actually one of the things we're gonna talk about here. And check this out.
Okay.
When I travel with a chick, where do I like to go? Where do you like to go? Where would you want to go? Outside in the States. I'm not talking about south of France. I'm not talking about.
I would like to go to the beach.
No. Is there a specific city or place you'd like to go? If a brand new relationship, where would you want to go? Like Miami.
Bless you.
Bless you.
What about you?
Well, that's mine. Mine goes here. I would take her to Las Vegas. I like Las Vegas.
I like Las Vegas.
So, but do you guys have a specific place?
I think like any way you can I think Vegas would be nice. You can gamble. You go to a comedy show. Go to a nice dinner.
Exactly.
Like for me, a comedy show is a great way to get to know somebody. I think.
Yeah, because you're
Judge them
laughing.
by what they're laughing at. If they get offended, if they're and you don't really have to talk to each other so much. Like I mean, afterwards, of course.
Exactly. But you could laugh about it.
Fun,
be like,
yeah.
And you could see if they got offended or they didn't get offended, and there's a lot to it. Now, the reason I bring this up is this. You said this guy didn't smoke weed, right?
Right.
Okay, check this out. So when we kick this off, and this is amazing, and I think this is about time, and I didn't even know that this even existed until now, but I love it. Love it, love it, love it, because I love Las Vegas. So Las Vegas now has a hotel that's getting a cannabis-friendly makeover.
Oh wow!
Hell yeah! This is where you should take that. Well, you can't take that guy, but you find a guy that loves cannabis, right? You and I are going to this hotel.
Okay.
Fuck it. You and I.
You paying for dinner?
I will pay for
Only
dinner.
if you get the tip.
I will pay for dinner. You know why? Because you're.
And I said that. I was
you're
like,
worth it.
And I said just the tip. What if I just sucked the tip of his dick? Would he like that? You want to talk about just the fucking tip? I'll give you just the tip. How about that?
This guy
You can
loses.
play just the tip.
This
I'm
guy.
sorry.
This guy loses.
I
right?
know.
This guy loses. But it's okay. Because you and I are going to go to Vegas. Derek, you can come along too.
Oh, thank you.
You're all welcome. But check this out. I love this. So Las Vegas-based Elevation Hotels and Resorts announced it was rebranding the Artesian Hotel, located minutes away from the Las Vegas Strip, into the Lexi, a cannabis-friendly destination hotel.
Nice.
Yeah, it's going over. It's undergoing a multi-million-dollar renovation and rebranding, and apparently it moves toward being the first hotel in Sin City to become a cannabis-friendly property. Now, what took so damn long?
And how?
Here's the thing. I think they're gonna have like small little, like you'll see like pot leaves and small stuff there. But I think when they mean more 420 friendly, you could smoke and not have people look at you funny. Like if you go to
cafe.
if you go to if you go to the Luxor, or if you go to like the Tropicana, right, you smoke weed, people still kind of look at you with a raised eyebrow.
Right.
So here, I think you could just puff out. And everything's all right. So I don't think the whole thing's going to be. It's going to be cannabis friendly, but I don't think it's not going to be cannabis centric. Everything's not going to be all cannabis. Oh, no, that'd be pretty cool too.
Out there.
All they need is really like a
hell yeah.
Oh hell yeah! All they really need is a cafe, like a cannabis cafe. You know, that way the people that don't want to, be around marijuana smoke aren't going to be there. So you got your own freedom.
Exactly.
Nobody's looking at you funny in that place.
Well, not absolutely. Well, here's the thing. That and my friend, how about this? You're allowed to smoke weed in the hotel room.
I do anyway.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
I put a fucking towel under the door.
Yeah, you don't
I
need
smoke all the time in a hotel.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't because
So what do they do? They're
Yeah.
like, are you smoking
Yeah.
in the room? No, but I smell that too. I was just about to call you.
Yeah, I never had
Yeah.
a problem. Like, I never got caught.
well, we've done it. I mean, we've smoked, but I'm just afraid that someone's gonna like just come in and be like, "All right, you know what? Get the fuck out.
There's
You don't
that
get."
sense of paranoia that you got.
Exactly. But it's about time that this, I mean, and you know why this is absolutely genius? Because it's a hotel. It's I believe it's also a casino. You got high people that are just going to they don't know how to gamble. They don't know. It's 20.
Yeah.
Sir, it's 20. Hit me. It's like, really, sir? Okay. So you're.
Not like angel dust. I mean, you could still fucking gamble.
Nah, you got some idiot. You're gonna get some Indian people out there that'll be like, look at the colors. Like,
Oh Lord.
but I'm just saying though, it's genius. But it took so long. When I saw that, you got to celebrate something like that. The fact that
Absolutely.
That sounds good. It'd be a good
I
destination.
wonder how much.
vacation.
When is it? Do you know when it opens or makes the transition?
I believe next year.
That's cool.
I believe it's next year.
Oh, good. I turn 50 next year.
Look at
I'm
that.
going.
See that? That's where we're going to go. We're going to
All right.
smoke your 5-0 and then we're all in. Like, how do you not want to go to? Well, I don't know. There's a lot of people still that hate cannabis. They're like they're gonna stay away.
No, we
Like,
don't
well,
want
this
them
is-
there. Do we want them there?
We
No.
don't want them
We
there.
don't want
No,
them there.
absolutely. And it's not apparently. I never thought about this. It's cannabis friendly. Is it kid friendly? Like if you have a family and let's say the father and mother want to.
Probably not.
That might be
Don't
bad
fucking
parenting.
bring your kids to Vegas. Don't bring your kids to Vegas. Go to fucking Disney.
Yeah, I've been to Vegas how many times, and there are kids everywhere. Like it's like a family destination. I don't know why.
Well, I don't think they're going to allow kids into like a smoking cafe.
No, but the hotel itself. Like I said,
Yeah.
the hotel is cannabis friendly. It's not just like one area that's cannabis friendly.
That's so cool.
Right. Well, I don't think
So you
that
chill by the pool
Yeah.
and smoke. All right.
Totally. Yeah. So I mean,
that's not a destination for families. It's a
Absolutely
destination
not.
for people that are going to have fun.
Unless you're purposely trying to like cock.
You're not having fun if you're with your family. I mean, come on.
you're gonna make a great dad,
You're
bro.
together all the time.
You're gonna make a great dad, dude. Just so you know.
It'll probably be like over 18 or something like that. I don't know Vegas rules, but
Yeah, Vegas is probably. I mean, I love Vegas. I don't like this. How many times you been there?
3.
3. Ming, how many times you been to Vegas?
Like 5.
5. You?
No, I never made it out of the airport.
Oh, okay. I've been there. Yeah, maybe
You
like.
got arrested or you ran out of money?
No, we got really drunk and really high and got on a plane in Jersey and flew to Vegas and sobered up on the way and then realized we didn't have any money for a hotel.
No, there's that.
That's a good. I like the spontaneity of it. Though,
Yeah,
you
I mean,
know?
there's that. Well,
That's
Derek,
cool.
yeah, see, Derek
That's
and airports,
cool.
man. Derek and airports. Like we went to the one airport too. We just got drunk and remember that? And
Yeah.
that was
That was
Derek
fun.
loves airports.
Yeah.
But I've been there like 5-6 times at Vegas, and yeah, I mean,
I like airport. You see every emotion at the airport.
don't you see sadness? You see happiness. You
Fear.
see fear. Yeah.
See people in
Anger.
pain getting
Yeah.
beaten by the.
Yeah, you see people in love. It's a great. I love watching people at the airport.
We should do a reality TV show and be like, all right, let's pay attention to all the emotions that happen out there, and then we just make stupid jokes about it.
It's called people watching.
It
I
is,
love
but
to watch people. I like to make up
Yeah.
my own scenarios in their head. I'm like,
people watching is great.
yeah, it is.
I mean, you just kind of sit there, what's going on in your head, and it's like they're not in love.
You can tell.
They're not in
you can
love at
tell,
all.
Like if a couple's been together for years, if they just met, you could tell a lot. Watching people, body language.
Oh, body language. If if they're in love for a long time, or if they're just in love?
Well, both. Either way, you know.
Yeah.
I like to read people, like nonverbal, like communicate, like micro expressions. I like to watch body language. It's very telling.
You are very, very. It's so true that you do know when someone's in love, and it's like, how long you guys been going out? Oh, well, can you put like between infatuation and love? Can you distinguish the two?
I don't know. I mean, because a lot of people that are infatuated like mistake it for love. I think
100%.
I don't know if I could.
Starry-eyed.
I guess you'd have to wait like to see if the other person has a car accident and they wipe their ass.
Yeah,
or
that's
something like
true.
that. And then that would be like true love probably. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I could tell if they're in love or infatuated with each other, you know. But you could definitely tell who's into each other, like into the other person.
Oh my God, yeah, that's pretty obvious. Like they're starry-eyed and they're like, tonguing each other down. It's just pretty obvious.
Yeah.
But
Old people are. I saw this old couple. They had to be in like their late 80s, and they reminded me of that couple. Remember, used to go to Theo's and do the karaoke, and they would always sing together.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah,
Remember that?
yeah.
But these people were so in sync. Like they sat down, and the guy was eating something, and as soon as he started eating it, she took out like a tissue and handed it to him, and he's wiping his face and putting it in this little bag, right? And then she takes out her book, and as soon as he sees that, he takes out her reading glasses and hands them to her. You know what I mean? Then she gets a wipe from him to clean the glasses, and he takes out the bag again, and she puts it in. It's like everything is just automatic.
Yeah.
They don't have to talk at all.
You know what's funny though? You always assume like older people have been together like forever.
Yeah,
Meanwhile,
yeah.
they could have just met on Tinder. Like,
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
2
Yeah.
weeks ago,
Yeah.
fucking each other. You never know. You just
Maybe-
assume, oh, look how cute. You know?
Sue, that's what you need. Maybe Tinder. What are you thinking?
Nah.
What are you thinking? Yeah.
I won't do websites.
You won't do, but you'll do a guy that has his car impounded. That's you'll take that. Got it.
No, I got it.
Got it. I don't know, man. Derek, do you date? Like
Sometimes it's just
we've been friends for how long? I don't even know when you're dating and when you're not dating. It's like,
here and there. It's usually very brief because I just don't like people.
I get that.
yeah, I can understand that too.
I don't want to give you time to people. Like if it's just gonna be fucking annoying or boring. Do you?
Pretty much.
Do I date?
Ed's you're a long hauler.
What do you mean?
Usually when you meet somebody, it's years.
They like me. What can I tell
Yeah,
you?
there you go.
So you don't like short term. You like it to lead to something, right?
No, it just happens to do that. For some reason, girls tend to like me, and then I just kind of like it. I was like, it's there, so I'll just keep it going.
And do you try to make it make sense? Like say, oh, you know what, she might be good, like a good while, or she might like. How do you decide if you want to have a relationship with someone?
That's a great question. How I decide, it kind of takes time. The first thing is kind of shallow, I think. I actually have to like the girl, meaning I have to be attracted to her.
Okay, guys are visual.
Yeah, it's a visual thing.
Yeah.
And she has to be married.
Well,
You ain't paying for her.
things like that. Yeah.
You like married women?
Things like that. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's it. It's I got to be attracted to her, and if it just kind of goes somewhere, it just does. I'm pretty tolerant. Like, there's a lot. You got to really suck for me to be like, I don't want to have sex with you, or I don't want to be with you. Like, there's got to be
I think
something
that's
really
most guys.
off with you.
I think that's most guys when it comes to sex.
Really?
Everything else is negotiable. I mean, think about it. There are a lot of things you do in a relationship that you wouldn't do by yourself.
But what makes a girl bad at sex? Is it like if she smells, or like what makes a girl bad?
I don't.
Yeah,
She's torn up. She smell like what make? Well, she just lays there, doesn't seem into it.
The smell thing is funny.
Yeah, that is funny.
The smell thing is funny. What makes a girl bad at bed? There's different preferences because you might have a guy that likes necrophilia and she just sits, there's that.
Oh, God.
I guess it really is a matter of your preference. For me, what makes a girl suck in bed?
I've never been with a girl that just sucked in bed.
That's
I mean,
what I
even if she just laid there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think it comes to the point of I've been with girls that I haven't really got into because she's not that good looking.
But that doesn't have anything to do with being good in bed or bad
Sure, it
in
does
bed.
because I'm not into it.
Yeah, but that doesn't have anything to do with her.
No, I don't do
ability
her. No,
in
no,
bed.
no, her.
That's
yeah.
what we're talking about.
Yeah. You remember our friend Max, of course, right? One of his greatest jokes. I loved it all the time. He was like, because Max was, remember, he's a good-looking comic, would go out, and it was the best. And one of his jokes was, I go out with these girls, and this girl's like, oh my God, how do you last so long? And he's like, I don't find you attractive.
That'll work. Yeah.
Oh my God! But guys, we're gonna cut that here. This went better. This went better than I thought. Like, I think the conversation is great. So we hope you enjoyed Comics on Cannabis here. Guys, please feel free to like and subscribe so we can grow our vision of fusing entertainment and cannabis together. And of course, visit our IG page at Comics on Cannabis. Guys, thanks again for watching. And until next time, see ya.